who can't see everybody. I would
Meeting
like
is
to
being
suggest,
recorded.
I'm
Okay.
speaking, I'm
Continue.
speaking.
Okay.
Go over your upper
Checking
right-hand
what to say.
screen
I'm
and
looking at
hover
it.
on view
I
and
don't know. I
pick
brought
gallery
actually
view.
bring me that microphone there. Back there, please.
Jackie, can you hear me now?
A lot of
Smith.
suppressed background noise, yes.
Too many.
Uh-oh.
No, I'm not. I'm
Where's the
recording.
microphone?
I see my old roommate.
Oh,
Alan
Barry.
All right, everybody, I just muted you all. Sorry about that. My name is Mary Jo Philhauer, and I'm going to introduce the special guest of honor tonight. Dr. Palmer, are you ready to start this? And you may be muted.
Yes, I'm ready to start. We've got 21 out of 31, the way I look at it.
Oh, okay. Well, do you want to wait a few minutes and see if we have a few more join? Happy to do that.
No, we can start. That'll be fine.
Okay. Well, I'm going to stop sharing. I just wanted to make sure everybody could see this beautiful picture.
That's when I was young.
We're all young then.
Well,
Oh, yeah, now I got everybody, I think.
all right, what we're going to do tonight is we're going to have a chat, but I'm going to call on each of you who are present to do your talk. It's been a long struggle to get this tonight, so I'm happy that everybody's showing up. Mary Jo is going to present a little bit here to start with, and then we'll get on with the chat. That sound good?
I'm over here, hon. You can't see from here out.
Mary Jo,
I am bringing it up. I'll be right there. Okay.
Oh, come over here.
So we're going to start. I just want to run through real quickly the Zoom instructions. So if those of you that maybe this is your first experience with Zoom, some of you are experts at it, so you'll have to just bear with this. But if you want to see a gallery view when I'm not sharing the screen, if you see in your upper right-hand corner, there's a little like grid box and it says view. You click on that and you want to make sure the gallery view is checked. And that's how you'll be able to see all your classmates' faces. Oops. Well, people are talking. You may want to keep your mic muted just because we get some feedback with that. But as we go through the trivia questions, you may want to unmute your mic and then just sort of have fun with it. So if you see here, if you're muted, you have a line through it. If you're not muted, it's clear and ready to go. If you want to turn off your video, recording in progress. Red line.
You can't see that.
Okay, and then if you want to ask a question, you can put it in the chat box and you'll see that on your screen. And if you want to leave the meeting, you just click the leave button. So we'll go ahead and get started here. So I'm gonna make this part short and sweet because I don't want to take up your catch-up time. So let's get started on some 1971 trivia. See if you remember some of this stuff. And there's 4 questions. Here we go. You can either put your answer in the chat box or you're all friends here so you can shout it out if you know the answer. So let's get started with our first one. So who can name these classmates? We're going to start with number 1 here. Do you all remember who this classmate?
Linda Book.
Linda Brooks.
Pipoli. Linda Pipoli.
You got it.
Yeah. Not Book. That's later.
Later.
Ron Smith.
There he is, right there.
Absolutely.
hey, Ron.
Hi.
Right.
Kick out of seeing
How about
themselves.
number 3 here?
Jackie Bartlett.
Yes, correct. And this last guy.
That's
How
my
many guitars?
guitar mate. That's my guitar mate.
Mark Weiner.
Howie Weiner. Where's
Yes,
Howie?
and he's here tonight.
Hey, Howie.
Flattered.
Okay, what about this one? Do you remember what year this photo was taken? What reunion year it was?
That's the 40th.
40,
It was 40,
It was
40.
2011.
The faculty.
I was gonna say 50, but we're too old. Yeah.
Okay, so how about these
40
guys?
year
Can you
reunion.
name these classmates? Who's this first guy?
Okay.
Dan.
First guy.
Palmer.
Yeah. All right, how about
Elmo.
Wall.
Wall.
Elmer Wall.
Yep.
yes.
Wow.
And how about the third gentleman?
I do not know.
I'm glad you guys don't know because I didn't know who that was.
And I didn't know who that was either. So maybe
He's not a classmate.
Maybe it's not a classmate.
One
He's
of the
probably
We're
married
all
to a classmate.
He's a wannabe.
Yes. All right, next one.
There's
Do you
Howard.
remember the name of the top song of 1971? And I'll give you a hint here.
Green
was a
Dog
bulldog.
Tank, yeah.
I clearly remember just blurting that.
Only Jim Julius could sing the second verse.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's Tom.
I gotta make new words to it, you know?
Why is it right?
There you go. You got it.
Where's Gregory? There's Tom.
More.
There's Tom.
You should never come to a reunion.
When you were really hungry.
So our next, and this is a bonus question. So just what it says, when you're really hungry and you need someone to talk to,
Lakewood.
where do you go?
It's the cafeteria.
Jefferson Lounge.
Lakewood.
Lakewood.
Lakewood. Yeah.
Jefferson Lounge.
Skyline.
Not yet.
Jefferson Lounge.
Everybody get it?
All right, I'm gonna give you the answer now.
Ivadine.
I have a dean. He was the secretary to handle everything.
No more.
Okay,
Gregory, where are you?
this next part. This next part, if you could mute your mic, if your mic is on right now, if you could mute it, that would be helpful. I'm getting some back feed. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. Our next section is where Ken comes back into play. And this is called the red envelope updates. Since there's so many people on this call tonight, what we're going to do is give everybody 1 minute to have the floor. And Ken will call your name, or Dr. Palmer will call your name, and you'll be on for a minute. So if you're still talking in a minute, I'm going to hold up this red envelope. And that will hopefully let you know that your minute's up. But if you're still talking and you didn't see the red envelope, then that'll let you know that you're passed the baton on to the next speaker. So for this part, be ready to turn on your cameras. Please try to keep your mic muted until it's your turn to speak so that everybody can hear the speaker well. So Dr. Palmer, I'm going to pass it on to you now, and I'll stop sharing this screen.
Yeah, it's nice to see everybody. I'm glad you all made it tonight. We've got 25 out of 31 so far. But what I was going to do is just give you a little bit of my background, and then you can say whatever you would like. You know, after we all left, I stayed at General Hospital for OB-GYN training. And if you remember the Berry plan, I had a 2-year commitment to the Navy, so I did that. Then I came back to Cincinnati and practiced for 40 years at OB-GYN. I have 3 kids. We were one of the only 2. Terry Royland had children, and medical school, but I've got 5 grandchildren. So we're happy and everybody's well, and that's good. That's the good news for me. So I'm gonna make these names come up. And if you're not there, first guy would be Tom Abderhalden, but I don't see him on the screen. So let's go with Greg Anderson next. So Greg, you'll have to turn on your microphone. There you
How's
go.
that? Can you hear me now? You can hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, well, a minute is way too much time. I'm still practicing. I guess I'll never get it right. I'm thinking about retirement, but I haven't figured out how to go about it, and I'm sure that it's too important a decision to be left up to me. So I'm waiting for somebody to tell me what to do. In the meantime, I have 6 kids, a lovely wife. COVID has kind of had more family time, but we're doing really well, and I'm glad to see everybody here. My heart goes out to the ones that are not, and every day is just one day at a time, and it's nice to see you all. Thank you.
Thanks, Greg. Let's go with Howard Weiner next.
Did I just lose 5 seconds? So Roy Boy, thank you very much. This is sort of like speed dating. Do we just tell you how wonderful we think we are? I really should start with how wonderful I feel my experience at UC was and continues to be. And I really, truly love you all, and has made a significant impact on my life. And did somebody just put up bullshit? And I really truly believe that. I do allergy immunology and transferred to becoming a national expert for environmental toxic exposures. I'm still working a lot. Play bridge for an hour or 2 a day, play my guitar for 2 hours a day, work out for 2 hours a day, married my second wife, the right time. I've been in over 90 countries in the past 18 years that we've been married. And I'm very blessed. And as I told my grandson who just started medical school, being a doctor is a privilege and a blessing, and don't treat diseases, treat patients. Love you all.
Thanks, Howard. That was nice. Jerry Berman, you'll be up next.
You hear me now, right? Good.
I do, yes.
Okay, everybody, it's nice to see all the faces. Half of them I can recognize, half I can't. But I got a picture here, to go. Does anybody, I don't know if you can see this. Do you have this picture from our graduation? I look at that every so often, just try to remember. So I practiced ophthalmology for 40 years in Queens. Enjoyed myself in UC also, the 4 years I was there. Came time to make a decision, and my kids and grandkids were all in Florida. So my wife and I of 47 years moved down to Florida, and I retired and moved to Florida. And instead of bridge, which is too difficult for me, Howard, I play golf as much as I can. I'm still trying to get it right. I'm practicing golf now instead of medicine, and just enjoying it down here. It's been a little tough now with the COVID, so everybody's back into prevent mode, and because some of our closer friends have come down with it or positive, and so we're watching ourselves. And it's good to see everybody. So I'll keep looking. Hi,
Thanks.
Jackie.
Thanks, Jerry. Dick Fink, I see you're there. You're next.
Yeah, I'll unmute my Mac.
You're muted, Dick. Your microphone is muted.
We're off.
There you go.
Is it on now? Okay. Hi, everybody, and hi, Ken. I haven't seen you in a long time, but we live about 5 miles from each other. I practiced OB-GYN for 42 years. and quit in July of 2020. Spent most of my time since retirement with pandemic and golf. Have 5 kids. Got remarried about 38 years ago. I have 13 grandkids. Worked pretty much at the Christ Hospital my entire career. Had very satisfactory career. A lot of patients that were around for like 30 years, and we'll get into the advisories that some people talked about as far as saying what would you recommend to kids coming out of medical school today. Challenges: I had 6 bypasses in 1998, which made me change my practice to a 5 or 6 person practice from a 2. Spent the last 3 years at the Christ Hospital in a group. And I think most of us who can relate that the bigger the group you get, the more impersonal it gets, and the less we can do what we did in 1976. Other things: I ran a marriage ministry for 15 years, and my challenge currently is I have a wife who will be in 2 weeks 1 year from diagnosis of pancreatic cancer. We are in the group of 15% who did not have stage 4. We've been through chemo, we've been through radiation, we've been through a 9.5-hour Whipple and portal vein, and as of right now, she's still both cancer free. So we praise God for that, and we take every day that we get as a blessing.
Dick will pray for your wife. Sorry to hear that. Jackie, you're up, and Jacqueline. Sorry.
Thank you. French Province for 50 years. I don't know who Jackie is, but I remember Jackie Bartlett, who came to my wedding. I had a great career. I finished in Oxford on faculty. That was fantastic, but I'm retired now since 2017. And the most exciting thing that's happening is that my husband and I have a huge art collection, which is a major portion of being donated as we speak to the National Gallery of Canada in Ottawa, and it's all on show from July 15 until November 15. So I hope you'll come or at least buy the catalog online. And if you're actually interested, do go online and have a look. Otherwise, we're playing golf, playing bridge. Come on, Jerry, you can do both, I promise. And also string quartet. So I can't keep up with the 2-hour-a-day guitar folks, but I'm doing my best and enjoying retirement very much. Don't have the courage to carry on forever. And also in Canada, where there are various places and posts allocated, sometimes we ought to get out of the way, because there's a young person coming up who's quite willing to do those 60 and 80 hours a week, and I can't do it. So I'm making my contributions.
Well said, Jackie. Good to see you. Tom Fisher?
Yeah, thanks, Ken. Good to see all of you. After graduation from medical school, I did a 3-year pediatric residency at Cincinnati Children's, and then went out and did a fellowship at UCLA in allergy immunology. I came back in '77 to Cincinnati and joined the faculty at Children's, and retired from there in 2018. I was also affiliated with a multi-specialty group called Group Health Associates. And on the home scene, Kathy and I have 4 kids, 6 grandkids. We just had a giant Christmas in July 4 weeks ago, because in December we canceled the family get-together because of the big surge of COVID at that time, and everybody's well and had a great time. And UC's been a big part of my life, as his Children's Hospital and all the friends and folks that I've been affiliated with. It's good to see you all.
Thanks, Tom. Elmer, I see you're in a hospital bed. It's up to you now. Give us what's going on with you. You're muted.
There we are. There we are. Okay, I'm 2 days post-op, 4-vessel bypass, Had a heart attack on Friday,
Oh, boy.
and I'm happy to be in this Zoom meeting and all. I'm in family practice, been there since graduation. Went in the Army for 4 years, and private practice. I was on faculty at Medical College of Ohio, and have done lots of different things. I've been medical director for Central State University, doing all kinds of things. I have 3 children and 5 grandchildren. We just celebrated our 50th wedding anniversary. Actually, we had a dinner. We were supposed to have it last year, but because of COVID, we just did it 2 weeks ago. I enjoyed listening to everybody here, and I may drop out if I'm starting to get tired, but I appreciate being here.
Yeah. Thanks, Elmer.
Take care.
Glad you take care of yourself.
I hope to.
How about Robert Fisher? Saw you somewhere. No?
Hi, I hope you guys can hear me good. I did a rotating zero internship after graduation at Good Sam Hospital, and then went into the Air Force, Berry Planner. Thought I would like family practice, but turned out that didn't care for it that much and became an OBGYN. Seems like we have a lot of OBGYNs in this group here. I stopped obstetrics when I turned 65 and limited myself just to GYN surgery. And I retired in 2014. Thank you, ICD-10. If those of you remember ICD-10, was a good reason to get out of medicine. Greg Anderson, I would say retirement, one project a day. You don't have to do more than that. And if you want to sleep late, you can. So don't be afraid to retire. I spent many years flying, and actually I have a commercial rating and owned planes, and that was a wonderful hobby, but that's also something that's kind of age limiting too. So here we are, and it's wonderful seeing all you guys. You know, it's 54 years, it's not 50 years, because we all met 54 years ago when we started at University of Cincinnati. It's great seeing you. And I miss those of us who are gone. Carol Cottrell, Sam Dolinsky, some of the other guys that we all loved.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here, guys.
Thank you. How about Stan Inglis from all the way from California? Dan, you got to unmute your mic. You know how to, you see how to do that? There you go.
Yeah, got it. So I think I was just going to say that I went to UC Berkeley and graduated from there, and then after that came to the University of Cincinnati, and then decided to do pediatrics and did my pediatrics at LA Children's, as did Dr. Opass. That's someplace around here. I don't know. He was a different institution, but in the same city. After that, I went into the Indian Health Service, the National Healthcare Service, and about 2.5 years there. And after that, took a trip around the world for 8 months, and that was a great experience. I would recommend it to anybody. Of course, I was 30 at the time. Instead of our age, it's much harder now. And let's see. Oh. Is Michael Resnick here?
Yes.
Where are you? Where did you go?
There. He's there, Stan.
Oh, can he hold his hand up?
Yeah.
See?
Anyway, if he's not there, then I'll. Is he there?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, I want to say hi to you. I have not seen you for a long time. I missed you at the last reunion. and used to be a roommate of mine, as I'm sure you remember. Just wanted to say hi. Also wanted to tell you that my daughter is was at the University of Oregon. And we've been to Eugene a lot of times, and I've often thought about visiting you, but never got that together. And then let's see, I have two daughters, one of whom just got her PhD in clinical psychology, and the other one got her master's in special education. Sarah and Elizabeth are their names, which I'm sure you want to know, but I'll tell you anyway. And let's see what else. I think that about sums up my last 50 years, although I've met some and talked to some of you since then. Thank you all. I'm really so happy to see all of you. And some of you I recognize and some I don't. I'm sure I will over time. And let's see. Somebody talking to me?
No.
No? Okay.
Thanks, Dan. That was really
Thank you.
nice. Thanks for coming.
Yeah,
Julius,
thank you very much for being here. It was good to see all of you.
thanks. Julius Demetrius, I see you. Are you there? There he is. You all set, Julius?
Unmute.
Unmute, Julius. Let's.
Psychiatrist delight. Unmute.
How about
Jim Julius.
Hey, Howie.
We need to hear from
Hey,
you.
Howie, you can, hey, Howie, take this thing and shove it, right? No, listen, I went to get my mouse so I could unmute me, and then lo and behold, I clicked it off. Anyway, that's beside the point. I got 60 seconds, right? I've got two people, actually, my wife was here, who I met in Cincinnati with me. So the other guy over here, he gets 60 seconds too. Can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay, I wasn't sure. Okay, what did we do? Geez, 60 seconds to your whole life. Residency, public health service, National Institute on Drug Abuse, Tehran, Iran, revolution, kicked out of the country by Khomeini, looked for a quiet place, found it in Richmond, Virginia, and have sat here for 40 years, and I'm not moving. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I do see Howie, I do see Barry, through various trips, and Gregor. Tona, where are you? Where's Gregor? Tona. Anyway, that'll ring a bell. So where are we? Oh yeah, the guy next to me is my brother in arms, who also happens to be a classmate, Ken, but he didn't sign up as usual. So here he is. Let's see, what else can I tell you? 2 children, one a neurologist, one data analyst. And at the risk of offending people, I don't know if you can read that, but I worry about the country. Go to frankspeech.com and get educated about what's going on. I don't mean to offend any of you guys. It's not political. I do worry about the country, however. So I'm going to turn it over to JD Wadsworth.
Oh,
Dick?
good.
Is that all right?
Yeah, that's great.
Did I stay within my time limit? I don't know.
No, it's good.
It's okay. That's all right. Go ahead, James. Jim's up, right? Is it okay? Jim is here. You get 2 for 1.
Yeah, that's great. Let's go for him.
Hey, it's good seeing everybody. I'm glad everyone looks well and is behaving themselves. I'm still working full time. I don't know what's wrong with you people. You're not that old. I've been married twice and divorced twice, but as a good Christian, everything comes in 3s. So that's probably my next plan.
We're still, everybody keep looking, right? Yeah.
The Stanley doesn't look any different than he did in medical school. Jackie the same. Gregor, he looks different.
But Gregor was always different.
Yeah, yeah, Howie's the same. And I haven't seen, Opus hasn't queued up yet, but
Where is Larry?
They just got turned off.
yeah. But I don't know if my what's been happening is terribly interesting. You know, I've been working and sleeping and doing what everybody does. But it's so good to see everybody. And
I do see Arnold Newman, which reminds me about a joke he told us at one of the reunions. It had to do with a ghost.
Oh, and Resnick lost all that curly black hair.
Yeah.
Loved your book.
Oh, you did? I'm glad you mentioned that. I wasn't going to bring it up. I mean, it was just the first try. A little bit was raw, but so be it. Anyway, I think I probably used up my
No,
time.
you didn't get the red card yet.
We need the red card. Yeah.
She hasn't given the red card. So, and I'm the
Oh,
wife
really?
of Jim Julius, and
See,
Jim
I met
is
her.
my second husband. So he's gonna leave all of his money to me.
Thanks a lot.
And Tom Moore, I haven't seen you for 50 years, and I'm so glad to see you on the Zoom. I hope
There's
that you
Tom
go.
right there.
I hope that it's Janice,
Yeah.
who grew up behind you, and you look just like your mother and father together, like your mother mostly. But you need to come in November to Cincinnati. Okay, Tom Moore?
I plan to be there.
That's good. That's good. Okay, I got dressed for our wedding at his house
Oh.
a long time ago.
Go ahead, Tom. You're Tom Moore, if you would.
Hey, hello all. Great to see this many people show up. I hope we'll have even more in November. I guess my future after UC started while I was still there, since that's when I married my wife, Mary. Many of you might remember her. We got married after the second year, and we are closing in on our 52nd anniversary. So that's one thing I've stuck with. After medical school, I did an internship in medicine at Dartmouth, back to Cincinnati for 2 years of internal medicine residency, and then I moved to Boston, where we've been ever since. I did a fellowship in endocrinology at the what was then the Peter Bent Brigham, now the Brigham and Women's Hospital, and then stayed on the staff at the Brigham and at Harvard Medical School for about 24 years. I did the usual academic mix of teaching and research and patient care. Probably mostly I was doing research while I was at the Brigham. And I guess if I did have any accomplishment in my research career, it might have been the development of something called the DASH diet, which turned out to be a fairly popular diet and a healthy diet and recommended by a lot of health agencies and countries. But the fact that it's well regarded, probably nobody on this call has ever heard of it. So if that's my research legacy, I probably should have kept that to myself. For the last 5 years I was at the Brigham, I was also an executive medical director at Merck. I thought too often at the Brigham, I was caught off guard by my decisions being exactly the opposite of what the business people thought was good for the institution. So I thought, well, maybe I need learn a little bit more about how business people think. So I thought Merck might be a good place to do that. It turned out it was, but what I learned at Merck was that everybody in business is everybody for himself, and you got to hit the next quarter. So after about 5 years of that, I decided I was better suited for academia. And I came back to Boston University, where I was the associate provost on the medical campus for the last 20 years. I retired in 2019. And so now I am a man of leisure, except my hobbies include things like biking. So a group of friends and I have biked across the country twice. And the other part that keeps me busy is my family. So that brings me back to Mary. Mary and I have 4 children and now 11 grandchildren. So we just got everybody together on the 4th of July, and that adds up now to 21 people, mostly children now. The children outnumber the adults. And I guess of all the things that I've done, that's the thing that the happiest about and the proudest of, because they will go on long after I do. The worries that I have now, other than the typical worries of a family, are the pandemic, but more importantly to me is climate change. I'd like to think that we're going to leave a planet to our families that is habitable and happy. And at the moment, I got to say that I'm a little bit worried about that.
Thanks, Tom. Ron Smith, I see you're right in the middle. Go ahead. Ron, you'll have to unmute your microphone. Unmute your microphone. Well, let's come back to Ron. Elmore Smith, is he here?
I'm here.
Oh, there you go.
Hey, Ron.
All right, Ron.
Hey.
Ron, you go. I'll go next.
All right. Well, I recognize a lot of the faces, not everybody though. But I left Cincinnati and I said, I have to see if medicine's practiced the same way other places. So I went to California for 3 years and I found that very interesting. And I was in the military there and internship. And then I went to the University of Pennsylvania and stayed there for 3 years. And I practiced anesthesia 35 years and then I retired to South Carolina. And when I got here, I retired playing golf and running and riding bikes. And all of a sudden, I went by a place called Volunteers in Medicine and they said, we need a doctor and we need a medical director. So that's what I did for 5 years after I retired. And for doing anesthesia and doing general practice are completely different. And so it brought me back to life. I had to study a lot and that was a good part of my life. I have 3 children, 5 grandchildren, and besides medicine in Reading, Pennsylvania, where I practiced for 35 years, I think I was involved in everything. I was on the board of colleges. I gave scholarships to kids, head of that, head of the NAACP, and just very involved in the community. So it's been an interesting life. One thing I remember in medical school, I think I went bike riding with Jerry Curran once, and we're riding uphill and I'm trying to keep up with Jerry. And by the time we got to the top of the hill, both my legs cramped up. I got off the bike and I couldn't move. With Jerry, I ride about 20 miles 3 or 4 times a week now and about 20 miles an hour, and I'm having a good time with that. So that's that.
Way to go, Ron.
Thanks, Ron. Elmore, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I don't see you on my screen, but.
I see me on my screen, but you don't see me?
Oh, yeah, I see you now. Okay.
Okay, and you can hear me okay.
Good, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, after Cincinnati, I went to University of San Diego for internship, then to University of Davis in Sacramento for 4 years of orthopedics. After that, returned home to Santa Barbara, where I've been ever since. I was married in medical school. I've got a 50-year-old son born in March of 71. So that's how I remember our dates. I retired January of this year. I consider being tired from the day before. That's called retired, tired again. I see Jerry Current there. I recall going fishing in the Keys with Jerry Current, and never forget sleeping in the gravel pile in the concrete and waking up there the next morning having no idea where we were that night. I recall him catching a cobia first chance out, just amazing, and certainly remember him and Joel Strang and Opus from the anatomy table first year. Always a wonderful time. I do hope to see all of you in November. I plan to go to Cincinnati barring any major COVID kind of disasters. I've got 2 sons, 3 grandchildren. My kids each live 2 miles away, one to the north, one to the south. So get to see the kids, grandkids anytime I'd like. So that's really nice. Enjoyed practicing orthopedics, met a lot of interesting people. Saw some interesting cases. I consider interesting cases usually to be somebody else's cases, not my own, but I had a few interesting ones of my own. Let's see, what else? All kinds of things, and I can't remember any of them. I think I may be getting a bit older. I will give you guys a walkabout here. This is my den where I live, if perhaps you can see as I go around. I don't know if you can all see this. I think Jerry will like that on the wall, if Jerry can see it. See the pig, Jerry?
Yes, I do. I believe I do. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And the ducks. And the
Oh,
ducks.
you turn out to be a real sportsman. Way to go.
And the ducks. And then this is outside. You all see that? So that's Santa Barbara. So anyway, I think oh yeah, I was talking about medicine. My experiences have been actually pretty happy. I had a massive 3/4 disc about 6-7 years ago. Couldn't stand to take a shower, couldn't walk 50 feet. I had surgery by one of my partners who I assisted on over 1,000 spine surgeries. Had an excellent result. Pain and numbness in the legs went away immediately post-op when I got out of bed. Took Fortone the next day because I thought you're supposed to take pain medicine after surgery. No pain medicine after that. So there are successes, and I'm really glad I had a surgical success. However, after the surgery, I haven't surfed or golfed, but then I didn't surf or golf before. So, it didn't really matter on that. I did jog and I had to quit jogging from the impact, but overall, all is good out here. And it's wonderful to see you guys, hear your stories. And again, hope to see you all soon. So I'll sign off and whoever's up next.
Thanks, Elmore. Jerry, since you're on the hot seat, you're up next.
We talking Jerry Curran, okay?
Yeah.
First on, this has really been wonderful. Just want to start out by thanking Mary Jo and you, Ken, for the outstanding work you're doing in pulling all this together, all the behind the scenes work, undoubtedly taking a lot of your valuable time, but thank you so much. So my wife and I, Patricia, got married 21 years ago, late in life, relatively speaking, no children, but my extended family, brothers and sister, have all gravitated down from South Carolina, from Ohio down to South Carolina. So we all get to see each other on a regular basis, do a little hunting and fishing and all that sort of thing. After UC Med, I went to Hopkins, did a neurology and medicine residency, went to NIH and did a few fellowships in neuromuscular diseases, neurovirology, and later geriatric medicine. I've been at the Medical University of South Carolina for the past 37 years. I'm working half-time at the Charleston VA. And the thing that comes to mind about working in retirement is if you enjoy what you're doing, you'll never have to work a day in your life. And quite honestly, that's how I feel just about every day when I get up in the morning 3 days a week to go to work. So I don't know when or if I'll ever retire. It's just been too much fun. So my work has been neuromuscular disease, focused on ALS particularly. I did 15 years of hospice work along with my neuro. And in my off time, I've been able to travel around a good part of the planet, actually, just about every far reach of the world that I wanted to go to, just traveling, fishing, meeting other people from other cultures. Down here, we do a lot of fishing and hunting, as you might expect, gator hunting, lots of fishing, boating, just wonderful. And just there isn't a day I get up, quite honestly, where I'm just so extremely, really eternally grateful for the great privilege that I have to live in this wonderful country, to have the beautiful friends and family, and so humbled by the opportunities, frankly, that we've all had over the years. And wish you all the best and hope to see you soon. Thanks for all the memories, guys, ladies and gentlemen. It's been truly outstanding. Thank you.
Well said, Jerry.
Yeah.
Very nice. Barry Menon, you're up. You, Barry?
Unmute.
You're muted.
It's our leaders, not Barry Minute.
Barry, yeah, there you
How
go.
do I get my picture?
I'm clicking on the microphone rather than the unmute button. Hey, great to see all you guys. Elmer, get well soon. Just do what the doctors tell you. And Jerry Curran, great memories hunting with you. And when I went upstate New York to Albany, I thought that I could continue to hunt quail. They don't have quail there.
Oh, I know. Too cold.
It was, excuse me, it was pheasant, but I did that. Anyway, I wasn't in the berry plan, and I got drafted 6 months into my internship. My birthday was #1 in the lottery. If you remember, it was a draft lottery. July 9th was #1. Got drafted, went for my exam, ready to get orders. Nixon ended the draft. So I continued pediatrics, board certified, did it for 5 years, but then during Albany Med, I played 2 seasons of rugby, and I wound up with a neurofibroma on S1. They thought it was a disc. And anyway, I was in the hospital for 6 months off and on with many back surgeries, bled into my spinal cord. It was just a lot of fun. Wound up in the pharmaceutical industry for 30 years. While there in New York City, I got a motorcycle and a legal pistol permit and made house calls on a motorcycle in Manhattan for several years. So kept my hand in medicine, and it was interesting times. Then I eventually wound up 5 kids, 2 wives, and the closest to medicine, my youngest daughter got a PhD in computational neuroscience. She got her PhD. So that's the closest we've come to medicine. Now I still practice. They took a chance on me and they hired me in urgent care. So I'm doing urgent care family practice. And I said, look, I don't want to solo. I want to learn from my colleagues, but I do have a good background in clinical medicine. I went to University of Cincinnati. And the point I want to make is the stuff that we learned in medical school still stayed with me. And I was able and continue to practice. I'm going to stop practicing when I can't remember the 6-digit combination to get into the building. So that's when I'm going to quit. So far, I can still remember it, and I love practicing. And I've been doing it now for 9 years, since I got out of the pharmaceutical industry. Great to see you all, and I look forward to seeing you. It was great. A special shout out. Alan Steinfeld, I haven't seen in 50 years. There he is. We were roommates first year together. It was great living with you. I'm sorry we haven't kept up, but I know you're a radiation oncologist, and I've followed you as much as I could. But the people that I see, Tom Mayer, I see Jim Julius, Wads, and I saw John Lowry a few times. I'm talking too much. Hey, that's it. Great to see you all.
Thanks, Barry. Hey, Alan, since he brought you up, why don't you start?
I was struck when I came on at some of the faces that haven't changed. Jackie McLaren, exactly the same. Ron Smith, exactly the same. Arnie Newman, exactly the same. Then there were others. Ken Palmer, you came back a little more slowly. Ed Herzig, same thing. Jerry Berman, didn't recognize the face, but the voice hasn't changed one bit. So that was so sweet, bittersweet to be transported back in time instantly by your faces. And then other things came back. Jerry Current, you still here, Jerry?
I am indeed.
I vividly remember pathology freshman year when we were given the option by Dr. Gall to either take the class and the tests or write a paper. And you had the courage to write the paper. I was just blown away by that. Of course, being you, you also took the tests and excelled. Greg Anderson, your daughter's middle name is Cushing. Isn't it Margaret Cushing? Yeah, Well, there you go. He's got Harvey Cushing blood in him, and that also has stayed with me. And I'll explain why it stays with me in a moment. Hirsutism. Raise your hand if you remember hirsutism. All right. Our senior play, if you will. I still have a flyer from that. And Sam Dolinsky, Sam's Jerry's roommate, Sam, murdered when he was in the Air Force out in Missouri, I believe. Sam comes back to me often as one of the most generous, warm-hearted people I've ever met. A real doctor's doctor. Thank you, Jackie. He was just a wonderful guy. And Barry, yes, we haven't been in touch, but you taught me music. You taught me how to listen to music. Three Dog Night. I was such a stick in the mud. I still am to a degree, but boy, I can listen to music thanks to you.
Yeah, the Cream album. That was we
yes.
played that over and over again.
Oh yeah, great music. I became a radiation oncologist. Was at Andrews Air Force Base for a couple of years, then at Brown for 6 years, and NYU made me a terrific offer. So I went there for the rest of my career, retired early. The stars lined up. The politics at NYU had fallen apart. My bank account said I could retire, and I had a lot of other stuff I wanted to do. I've been a gardener really for decades and wanted to go to the New York Botanical Garden and both learn there and lead tours. So I became a docent at the New York Botanical Garden and did that for 20 years. I retired 20 years ago. I've also been a genealogist since the mid-70s, since just after medical school, and am very active in genealogical writing, research, and teaching. Rena and I are still married into our 54th year, 2 kids, 3 grandkids, and life has been very good. Cincinnati was a superb launching pad. I can still do a physical exam. I think still do my medical student quality physical exam, which the docs today don't seem to do. It is wonderful to see everyone, and I will try to make it out to Cincy in November.
Great, that's good. Ed Herzig, you're up.
Well, first of all, I agree. It's great to see everybody. Although we may be a little grayer and a little older. I left Cincinnati, went to Boston for 2 years. One of my dissecting partners is still on this call, and that was Howie Weiner. And went there with Marty Samuels. Spent 2 years in the Air Force in Taiwan, so we got to see parts of the world. Came back to Cincinnati in 75 and did 2 years with Evelyn Heston, a year at Chief, and then went into practice in Fairfield and never really left. I did retire in January 2017. Since that time, I've been busy volunteering. I'm chairman of the Cincinnati Board of Health, which has kept me involved in this pandemic. It's really a really interesting time to be doing something that I thought was going to be a pretty mundane job, but it's been very interesting. Along the way, did a fair amount of research, did a lot of volunteer work. I had 2 sons. My younger son died suddenly in 2018. I have 3 grandchildren, 2 of whom are going to college next year. And one will be in the Bronx and one will be in Chicago. And still married. We've been locked in here for the last 10 days because after I got vaccinated, which was in January, I obviously ran into somebody with the Delta variant, and we're well, but still quarantined until tomorrow. It's been an interesting journey. I agree with what everybody said. It's really been an interesting journey. I think our training was really superb. We are hands-on physicians, right? We still touch and see the patients. I remember Dick Vilter saying to me, Edward, doesn't make any difference what they come in the office for. Listen to their heart and lungs. They will love you forever. And he was right. He was absolutely right. So it's been good. And we're here in Cincinnati still. I'm about 2 miles from Ken. I'm up in Eden Park, and Ken's down on the river. So cool. It's nice seeing everybody.
Thanks, Ed. Very good. Ray, I see you down there at the bottom. Ray Shively. Yeah, unmute your. You're still muted, Ray. You see the. Why don't we, let's go on to Bob Rubenstein, and then Ray, you'll be next. Robert, you want to go next? Robert?
Guys, gosh, all your faces and your voices bring so much back. Hey, Jim, so many. This was the time in Cincinnati was such a special time for me. Not only in learning medicine, but the fellowship among us. We had a lot in common. We were going through the same stuff, and we needed each other. And I really haven't been in that kind of a group of friends since. I really miss that. I'm sorry I haven't kept up more. I had a career in psychiatry. I'm still working a few days in substance abuse. Get to hear some pretty upsetting stories still, but everybody is fascinating. Everybody, I'm learning from everybody. I had a couple of marriages, a couple of kids, and a couple of grandkids. And they're not very close, but I just had a visit from my California gang, and I'm on cloud 9. I hope to make it to Cincinnati. We'll see, but I think we can make it work. And I hope most of you are there. I'd love to see you.
Thanks, Robert. Ray Shively, you all set?
Hello? All right, here I am. I hope you can understand me. I know I'm difficult to understand. When I left Cincinnati, I went to New York in Greenwich Village, St. Vincent, and I did a general surgery residency. And then I went to Chicago, the Northwestern, and did plastic surgery residency. Then I spent 2 years in the Army in El Paso. And then I went to St. Louis, and I was on the plastic surgery staff at St. Louis University for 8 years. Then I went into private practice. And in January of 2000, I had cancer in the right tonsil. And made surgery and radical neck and radiation, chemo, everything. And I had to retire then. And that's why I speak this way. I have a boy-girl twins that are 42 who live near us. We live in Florida. It's beautiful here and I love it. I don't have any more to say. I hope you can understand me. I know it's hard.
Okay, we could. Thanks, Ray. Larry Oakley?
Hi, everybody. So great to hear these stories. I remarried 11/11/11 so I could remember my second date. I have 3 children. One's a glass blower, one's a nightclub manager, one's a games manager, didn't want to have anything to do with medicine. I'm still practicing. I left Cincinnati, went to Children's Hospital for a pediatric residency and then a pediatric nephrology fellowship. Couldn't get a job as a pediatric nephrologist, so I was hired at what you call a hospice now. Next thing I knew, I was running LA County's intensive care unit. I've been there for 45 years. I'm practicing nephrology. I don't practice intensive care. I've been the chief of pediatrics for about 31 years now. And then I couldn't say no to a lot of things and ended up being associate dean for graduate medical education. So I'm spending most of my time doing that. As far as other things in my life and highlights, I would say that I fulfilled a lifelong dream of owning a racehorse. My father was heavily into racehorses, and I went to the Kentucky Derby every year. And in 1998, I finally got a horse in the winner's circle. It's something called the Breeders' Cup, and was the champion that year. So that was very lucky. But other fond memories, I guess I reflect back on 50 years and I think about being Crazy Otto and hirsutism, and I can relive it today like it was yesterday. And it really, all of Harry Rudney and singing Harry Rudney and carrying him around. I mean, these memories are forever. And I agree with what everybody says. The training we got was secondary to none. We were hands-on with patients. I reflect back, not that the interns and residents want me to reflect back for a single moment, but almost every day I'll reflect back on something that happened in Cincinnati, and you carry it with you forever. I hope to see all of you in November, and it's great seeing you today and hearing these stories. Thank you all for being here. I think we all should feel very lucky that we're on this Zoom. Ken, you're muted, Ken.
I think you're muted, Ken.
Oh, sorry. Arnie Newman next. We got 3 people left, I think, 3 or 4. So Arnold, you're next, wherever you are.
Ken, can you hear me all right?
Yes.
All right. So it's great to see you, Ken, and thank you very much for organizing this. And I mean, it's a kind of for me, a mixture of nostalgia, curiosity, to see you folks. And I echo the sentiments of many of the other classmates that have, commented on how fortunate we were to be at UC at the time we were there, and to have that experience. And it was hard work, but it was great. And there were a lot of good fellowship and so forth, and some bad times too, but we all got through it. I think a lot of us ended up being berry planters, including myself. Got to be in the Air Force. Didn't know anything about Air Force, but it sounded good at the time when we all had to sign up. I think at the end of the second year, we're going into the third year or something like that. And I got assigned, very fortunately, to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Dayton, Ohio, 50 miles from my home. So it was great. And then actually in residency, I did at the University of Michigan in radiology, and Jay Ambrosini was one of my co-residents. So that was nice. And then let's see, geez, after that, I did fellowship at Cornell in New York City, and then I've been in private practice for a long time, but I've been retired since 2013. And right now I'm out here in California. And for Larry Opus, I live about 2 miles from the racetrack in Del Mar. So big horse country down here, although I'm not an equestrian by any stretch. For Jim Julius, if he's still here, he recalled to my mind that joke, which I had forgotten. I can't repeat it, but it was a good joke. Barry Menon, he sounds exactly the same with the same intonations, the same inflection in his voice. Great to see him. So anyway, I just want to say thank you. And like I say, I just felt very, very fortunate. I must say also, give a shout out to the great Ben Felsett, who was an influence on so many of us, got us into radiology, and it was great. And really, that's pretty much it. I've been married for, now almost 34 years with the wife number 2. And I got one daughter up in Seattle, and who's not in medicine. And so I just feel, like I say, very, very fortunate. Thank you all.
Thanks, Arnold. Very good. Mike Resnick, you're up. I think we got 2 more. Hank Perry just joined us, and I got Keneally and Andy Deek. I think that's, if I'm not mistaken. So hey, go ahead, Michael. You're muted, Mike. You're still muted. Still muted, Mike.
We'll see.
Hey.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now you're good.
Oh, good. Thank you. Well, again, thanks to everybody for showing up and for the school for putting this on. It's great to hear everybody's voice. I don't know if can you see me?
Yes.
Not that it really matters, but I'm sitting here in Bend, Oregon. I've spent the last close to 50 years in Oregon, first at the University of Oregon, Oregon Health Sciences University, was on the academic faculty doing psychiatry, and the last 20 years doing addiction psychiatry at the VA. Last year was a big year for me. I mostly retired last April, only continuing to do some medical legal consultation.
These people are not looking down. You're gonna, if you keep it that way. I don't know
But
yeah, because they're looking straight at the camera. You're not looking.
I don't know where the camera is right now.
Oh, you're good, Mike.
Okay, well, I hear some speaking in the background. But last year was a big year. I mostly retired except for doing some medical legal consultation. And I also had my first grandchild, my son and his wife, who happens to be from Cincinnati. By coincidence, they met in New York, live a few miles from me in Portland. And my first grandchild was born in October. So I'm enjoying being a grandparent for the first time. So that's about all. I hope to see everybody in November. It was great to be caught up on everyone. If anyone's ever in Oregon, please give a ring. It's easy enough to get a hold of me.
Thanks, Michael. How about Andy Deek? You want to be next? I see the name, but I don't see a picture. There you go.
I'm unmuted, but I don't know on my iPad where my picture is.
Yeah, we
Got
can't.
me. You hear me?
I hear you fine. We can't see you though. Go ahead.
Maybe that's better. Anyhow, I was late getting into the Zoom because there was an issue with the connection somehow. Laura got me connected today, and I'm really fascinated and amazed, as everyone says, about the University of Cincinnati and how we all turned out to be, I would say, incredibly successful at whatever we wanted to do and all the things we really learned in basic medicine. I was in the Air Force after the Berry plan, like a lot of guys. I spent a year in Thailand, and we had people from all different programs, and I seemed to be the only one who seemed how to take care of a real patient. We learned a lot. After I graduated, I did a year of internal medicine at Good Sam, went into the Air Force, then came back to Good Sam, did a fellowship in gastroenterology, and went into practice with a line of credit and loan. and set up practice in Western Hills and went from scratch. I had 4.5 kids at that time, and I made a living of it. I was the first gastroenterologist or the first subspecialist in Western Hills, because at that time in the late 70s, everyone had to go to what we call Pill Hill, where our University of Cincinnati was, and the other specialists were. Anyhow, it's been a wonderful 33 years of practice. I did December 1, 2011, the year my wife got into Medicare, and do not regret it. I've been busy. I used to paint watercolors as a kid, and I'm convinced that you can't really do painting or even writing, I think, if you're working. So now that I'm not working, I could paint. I'm rented a small studio and I do watercolors. In addition to this, I started working the free clinic at TriHealth, which was Good Sam, in part of the inner city and near West Side, years. Now with COVID, I dropped out, and then my wife sustained a serious injury with a brachial plexus injury, which is requiring a lot of time working with her. I have 5 children, 5 grandchildren, and 1 about to be born, would be number 6. They're all boys. We'll find out what the 6th one is. But we've had a great life together. Kids are great. None of them went into medicine. They all went into art or something like that, or teaching. So I'm looking forward, as everyone has said here, to seeing more people at the reunion in November. It's been a great time, and I'm just amazed how bright we really were. You just can't believe it when you're in the middle of it. Thank you very much, Ken.
Yeah, thanks, Andy. Hank Perry, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, I'm happy to be here in Long Island, New York. I'm the grandfather of 6 children, 1 in the oven. And I'm happy that my 4 children are doing well. 1 is in medicine. She's a geneticist in San Francisco, and just left UC San Francisco for the Minetti Group. For myself, I've been in private practice for 45 years. Actually, one of my first partners was Jerry Berman, but he decided to go out by himself. And eventually I have developed a fairly large practice, and now I think there's something like 30 ophthalmologists in the group. So it's gotten so big, we have our own CEO and things like that. And basically at this point, I'm an employee, and I'm lucky they let me come in 2 days a week. In terms of Cincinnati, I feel I owe them a lot. The university gave us an excellent training. I remember at graduation, our graduation speaker started to complain about this and that and the other thing. And I kept thinking, how the hell is he talking for all of us when, to me, and I think to the majority, we got an excellent education. Almost all of us became very successful and have been very active for a long period of time. And I still work 2 days a week in my practice, and I also work a day or 2 teaching. So I feel I'm still involved, and I still do research and lecture all over. So I think the spirit of giving to others was really imbued to us when we were at the University of Cincinnati. And that's about all I have to say. Ken, I appreciate all the work you've done and the others who've put this together. And I'm sorry I was a little late. But again, I had to be with the grandchildren for dinner. Otherwise, my wife would have kicked me.
Yeah.
So
Glad you made it, Hank.
thank you.
I saved the last for our ex-president of the class, Jim Keneally. So I thought maybe he could wrap it up. I think if I've missed anybody, let me know. I think I've got everyone. We had about 5 more people who signed up, who Marty Samuels and Russ Sabrin, Gary Gibbons and Larry Rensky, but they didn't show up. So
Yeah, Marty Samuels is the one who gave the address. I wonder how the hell he was picked. But anyway, that's passed.
well, I've got Marty lined up for at the reunion to give us a little talk about what he thinks has changed since 1971.
Yeah, I would think of twice before that, Ken.
Okay, Jim, go ahead. You're muted.
Oh,
Jim.
yeah, okay, now I'm unmuted. Well, I greatly enjoy this experience. It is so nice to see all of these faces, and I have so many fond memories of my 4 years at the University of Cincinnati. Can't go over all of them, but as I heard Bob Rubenstein speak, I do remember one time that he picked me up in his very old rusty car. And as I sat in the front seat, he informed me that his poor car had tertiary syphilis. And as a result, he called her Louise. Sue and I spent most of the past 50 years in Cincinnati. I became a pulmonologist, and I was on the faculty at the University of Cincinnati for about 7 years. And thereafter, I went into private practice. And actually, when I went into private practice, I went out and worked in the same office with Andy Deek. He had the acumen to run a private practice, and he taught me a lot, and he kept me from making a lot of mistakes. So I owe a lot to Andy Deek. In late 2015, I retired, and Sue and I then moved from Cincinnati to Atlanta, Georgia, because we have two sons that live in the South, and we are now within driving distance of both of them. And that makes life a lot nicer. I also am really happy about my undergrad or my basic training at UC. As I hear about messenger RNA and I hear about biologic and immunologic treatment for cancer, it is very easy for me to understand what is going on, to brush up if I want to. And I attribute that to the wonderful education we had at UC. I read in the paper the other day that George Hoog recently died, and I remember his lectures at Children's Hospital. I think that was in our second year in genetics. But anyway, it's wonderful to see you, and I'm glad we had this opportunity.
Yeah, thanks, Jim. You know, guys, I mean, the remembrances of UC and what it does to you when you go out and practice, and you know, people who graduated with us and seeing a patient of yours, it was always reassuring that you knew they were in good hands, no matter who they saw. So it was really interesting to hear all you say that. So it's really been good. I think we got more time, but I want to make a little, the university alumni office need you to email them if you want to be part of the contact list, especially for the alumni meeting in November, which is from the 4th to the 6th. So Mary Jo is going to talk a little bit more about that right now. So,
Hey, Ken?
Yes.
Can I ask something before we get into that?
Sure.
Am I muted?
No.
Okay. About plans for the reunion. What I was a little concerned about, frankly, it looked a little thin in terms of activities. There was something Friday night, right?
Correct.
But is there anything on Saturday? Did we think about trying to plan anything?
There is a plan in the morning and into the afternoon, and then there's a football game if people are interested, but not Saturday night. Tom Moore and I talked a little bit about that, maybe getting the Hilton to set aside a room for us or a bar or whatever we wanted to do. I looked into Christ Hospital has a huge spot, but we'd have to bring in our own bartenders and people to serve the food. So that didn't work out well. So unless somebody we've got plenty of time if somebody has some ideas.
What are the dates?
4th to the 6th of November.
What about something like the Montgomery Inn or, you know, a bigger restaurant that is there a place that could accommodate us?
We could check.
Hotel.
Yeah, the Hilton might be not a bad idea. We could check with them ahead of time to see if they would set aside a room for us.
Kingsgate, is anybody staying at Kingsgate, the old Kingsgate?
That's available. Mary Jo, you want to comment on that?
Yeah, the Kingsgate's now called Graduate Hotel, and we do have blocks of rooms available there. A lot of times people stay there. We also have blocks of room at the Hilton. Dr. Palmer has put together a letter that you'll receive in the mail. It's at the print house right now. And that'll have the whole schedule of the weekend. So there are activities on Saturday. There's an alumni reception that's at the Fifth Third Arena, which will happen before the football game. Or you could do a tour, an underground tour of downtown Cincinnati. We'll have some gatherings over at the Graduate Hotel in the morning for breakfast. We'll do the children's tour. So there are activities that'll be happening on Saturday, well, throughout.
What I was thinking, Mary Jo, what I was thinking is that just a place where, you know, right now we talked a little bit and an hour and a half has gone by Zoom like that. And it would be great to just be able to mingle and talk to each other. And it would probably take 8 hours to get that done or longer. But I think that's all we need is a space where we can just talk to each other. Maybe hug too, I don't know.
Well, hopefully you'll find that through some of these activities, you'll get that opportunity. I know Friday night of the class parties, you have separate locations where you go as your group. You will share with the class of 1970 because we're doing a double reunion this year because of the pandemic. Now, if you want to make additional plans outside of the schedule activities, you guys can hash that out and decide what's best for all of you.
Well, I would be happy to coordinate with Ken and anybody else. I'd be happy to put time in. Where are we going Friday night? Do you know, our class?
The dinner is at the Hilton Netherland Plaza. So we'll have the celebration of our distinguished alumni and we'll celebrate the 50-year class. So that's where you and the class of 70 will process in and you're announced. And so it's a pretty nice time. You get your class medal, your 50-year medal, and that'll be presented by Dean Flack. So I hope of all the activities, that's one that you're able to carve out to be able to be part of, because it's a lot about you.
So Mary Jo and Ken, is there any outside possibility, given the fact that Iva Dean was so beloved, not just by our class, but by virtually anybody who came in contact with her? Is there any remote possibility we could see her, video, some way just to connect, even if a few precious seconds? Anybody thought about that?
Well, I'll interrupt before you chime in because I see Iva Dean all the time. So I'm fortunate to get to see her, and she will be there on Friday at the College of Medicine when we go and do the college tour and breakfast and lunch. So she will be there live and in person. And she also always attends the dinner. And so she visits each of the classrooms. She'll be there during the reception. So I think everybody will have a nice opportunity to be able to touch base with Iva Dean.
Outstanding. Thank you for that. Yeah.
I also want to put a word in for the Hirsutism band, and we hope we can get the band back together Friday night.
I'd just like to, yes, Jim, I hope so. Just ask the group. I have wanted to have my kids come, so I took rooms for all my kids to join us. And Mary Jo and I spoke today about the logistics of what can they come to, what can we do. The football game is easy. I guess Friday night, that wouldn't be a time for the kids to come, but I was wondering, if anybody else is interested in bringing kids and grandkids and planning something for families. I guess I'll take that as a no.
No, I think it's a great idea. It's Hank speaking. I think it's a great idea, but a lot of us, our kids are spread all over the United States. It's just so.
Me as well.
If you're
Yeah.
fortunate, you should do it.
Yeah, well, I'm in Bethesda, Maryland. I got 2 kids in New York City and 3 kids in the area here. They're all in Virginia, but it's the Washington, D.C. metro area. And I told them I'll pay for your rooms. You just have to get to Cincinnati. And I said the Grater's ice cream and Skyline chili is worth it. And they're interested in coming, but I just didn't want them to come there without some involvement. So the football game is one thing, and they can certainly spend the day at the zoo and go to the art museum. There's plenty to do in Cincinnati. So I think I'm going to push them to come because I'd like them to see Cincinnati and meet as many of you as they can.
And a couple things. Number one, if people wanted to do dinner or something Saturday night, certainly the boathouse down on the river is a very decent place to get together, and most people haven't seen that, even though it's about 15 or 20 years old. The other thing I would say is that having been heavily involved in UC sports for 40 plus years, and number one, if you do take the tours and you come back, and I would strongly advise it, first of all, you won't recognize the place. It's unbelievable with the sports facilities that have come up from Bob Goyne and everybody else since then. The other thing I would say is having, I guess unfortunately, but also fortunately, spent a year off and on in the Barrett Center and taking walks while my wife had her 4 hours of chemo. The place 50 years later is unbelievable. The Barrett Cancer Center, the research, the university hospital, everything down there is the neuroscience bill. Everything is, you won't even recognize it. So don't take the idea of saying, well, it's probably not much, so we'll skip the tour. I mean, it's just, if you haven't seen it, it's unreal.
From what Mary Jo said this afternoon, my kids, the family can come on the tour. So that is something that, your family can do. I mean, it's as new for us as it would be for them.
That's true. The tour of the College of Medicine, yes. The children's tour, that'll be for our alumni in a spouse or guest.
Do you have a number on how many people are scheduled to come in November so far?
I don't. It's an interesting year as I'm talking to the frontline workers here. So we don't know what to expect, how receptive people will be to coming back to in person. We also are doing a double reunion. So it's 26 different classes that are going to be celebrated in November. So there's a potential that it'll be quite a fun party and a lot of opportunity for people to interact with each other. So we're hoping for that.
The other thing I wanted to bring up was the 1971 gift to the university that I want everybody to remember that. I think Mary Jo said that's going to come out with the next mailing.
Yeah.
Information on that. And Barry, your idea of a plaque, I think that's a wonderful thing. Mary Jo said it might be an issue just to jump through the hoops to get that done. She says it's very hard to get something put on a wall.
Not if you have the money.
It's an interesting process. But it's a great idea, and it's something that we can definitely explore and go from there and see what our opportunities are.
Fair enough.
The other thing, I've had trouble finding certain people. Stan Inclus and I were trying to find Peter Pan, and I actually emailed him, but got nothing back from him. So if you've got friends who say they're not getting anything, tell them to send me a note or send Mary Jo a note. So I think I had 77, but a lot of them keep coming back. Terry Royland, who lives here in town, I cannot find him. I found him, but his phone says don't call on this number. So I haven't been able to get a hold of him. So, anybody else we have more time, Mary Jo? Or
I think we're right at 8 o'clock.
To clarify, Mary Jo, because you had said, so we are to make our donations to the graduating class of 1971 in contrast to any other place.
It's the Class of 1971 Scholarship Fund. And that's what will be on when you get this next letter, there's a little slip that you can fill out. You can also do it online at any time. Or you can just email me if you'd like to do it that way, and I'll be happy to help you out and send you the direct link. So, but that letter is due to mail August 23rd. So it's in the final stages of being prepared. That'll come out to everyone. And then right after that will be the registration booklet, and registration will be opened up. So it's all coming in the next few weeks.
Mary Jo, thank you for helping us set this up. It's been great.
Thank you.
It's been great.
Thank you very much.
Can I just quickly share my last memory of Elmore Smith was at the second performance of Hirsutism, when people in the crowd were negative, and Dr. Smith was ready to fight every one of them. Remember that, Elmo?
Yes, I remember that, and not sure why I did it, but I think that speaks a lot for the class. And I really thought of everybody a great experience all the way. And I do still have on my iPhone, I'm looking at a video of Hirsutism that was done at the reunion 10 years ago with you singing. I'll send it to you if I haven't already.
Jim has it. We've had it. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
That was an incredible memory.
Barry
Thank you for the memories.
Barry breezed his way right on through high school, graduated naturally, then on to college where he gained some more knowledge, and said med school it would be.
Then it was UC for me. Yes, indeed. That's great.
Thanks, guys.
Ken Farmer, thanks so much, guys. As well, Jackie.
Thanks for the memories, guys.
Good to see you.
Looking forward to seeing you all.
Thanks for doing this, Ken.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Thanks, Dan, Jackie. Hey, Ron.
Thank you. Read your chats. Read your chats.
Oh, okay.
Bye, Howie.
Oh, how do you feel?
Better.
You're all better with your divertick?
Thereabouts.
Okay. Has anybody heard from Dennis Utani?
I've gotten emails from him, but I haven't, nothing personal about tonight or the, I can send you his email if you want.
Oh, and Roger Winkle?
I don't think I've heard from him or Lippert.
How about Ambrosini, huh?
No.
No.
David Tooley's at a wine taste, so he's passed us up for a wine taste. What a turd.
You say he's passed out from wine tasting?
Passed out at the wine taste.
Maybe.
I sent him an email this morning.
Thank you.
Now, do we have to let the school know that it's okay to use our email? Is that what was said earlier?
Yeah, you do. You have to give them permission in order to contact you for this November. She said she only had like 18.
What?
Oh,
We had put together a whole email list. I remember I asked Jim Keneally, he sent me a lot of it. And is that a no-no? I mean, considering that get hacked by China at the drop of a hat, I mean, what's the big deal with the emails?
I'll let Mary Jo answer that.
Exactly right. That's why I say get rid of HIPAA. It'll save a lot of money.
Well, we are not permitted to release somebody's information unless we have permission from you. So for me to be able to send the other classmates info, I can't do that unless I get a written permission from you. So you can email me and give me that.
Mary Jo, can you tell me who objects so I can take him off my email list so I don't get in trouble?
Well, that's funny, and I did not hear that. I don't know anything about what you're talking about. So, but as far as me being able to release any information, I cannot do that unless you give me permission to do that. So that's where it stands from this person. But as far as getting reunion mailings and emails about reunion from the university, you will get that as long as you are on the, you haven't told us you don't want them. So.
I just want to say one thing, a plug for Peter Pan,
the
famous Peter Pan. He has done about 20 years of his life giving missionary care to people, patients in Africa. And he was really hard to get a hold of. In fact, I couldn't get a hold of him, but as it turns out, his cousin or his aunt, something like that, was a resident at Harbor UCLA, where I was training residents. And she was able to find out more about where he was, and she contacted him, but never heard back as far as I know. But anyway, you may see him flying around here sometime, but hopefully you'll think positively about him because he really is a wonderful person.
Yeah. Very nice.
Thanks, Dan.
We had
Jerry Berman, where do you live?
I just want to ask Hank Perry, can he put on his video? We haven't been able to see him. No?
Can you hear me?
We hear you. We can't see you.
I don't know what happened. The video just didn't work. I put it on and nothing came through.
All right. At least you tried.
Yes. Great to see you, Jerry.
Jerry,
Great to see everybody. It was a very wonderful experience.
It was.
Thanks, everybody, for coming. That was good. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thanks again, Ken.
Everybody.
Thanks, Ken, for putting it together.
I don't want to. Larry, how you doing?
Good. Can't complain.
What year is it in California? And I remember your story about flying into Cincinnati and having to change your watch.
Yeah, turn your watch back.